This is the Last Week in PlayStation number 7. Welcome back to the channel if you tuned in last week, and if this is your first time watching, thank you for clicking on my video. I don't know myself this week. Last week was super busy and I was rushed trying to get the script typed up for the show. I'm starting writing this week's script on Wednesday night and I'm just going to add to it as the week goes on. I know that's not really relevant, but I wanted to share. This is the weekly news show where I round up all of the best PlayStation news that happened in the past week and put it all into one easy to watch video so you don't have to go looking for it. This week has actually been pretty good for PlayStation news. I'm excited to share it with you. Before we begin, please give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. It only takes a second and it would really help me out. This week we got our free August PS Plus games and one of them surprised me. A Microsoft owned game comes to the PS4, Gabe Newell decides on which 9th gen console he prefers, and much more. Now with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's PlayStation news. Our first one comes from Forbes.com and I'm doing it first to get the Gabe Newell thing out of the way. Basically he was on holiday in New Zealand and COVID happened, so he decided to stay and one thing led to another. He was on a New Zealand talk show. This is what the article says. The head of Valve Corporation and one of the most important figures in the gaming industry came to be answering questions on what seems to be a relatively mundane New Zealand talk show. In this instance, the console war was reduced to a pretty straightforward question. This Christmas, PlayStation and Xbox are both coming out with new consoles, which is better? Add the Xbox, Newell responds, without missing a beat. He really didn't hesitate to say Xbox, and I think it's interesting how quickly he answered. It could be because of that weird history Gabe has had with Sony. In 2007, he called the PS3 a waste of everybody's time, then was on stage at Sony's E3 2010 event making jokes about his comments and talking about Portal 2. It's a weird relationship he has with the company. Honestly, if a load of places didn't report on this, I wouldn't have thought twice about it, but I mean, hey, that's Gabe's 2 cents on next gen, I guess. Next up, coming from GamesRadar.com, Sony announces 2 ready for PS5 televisions with special console integration. Don't get too excited, however, because these are Sony TVs and you're already going to be spending a small fortune on the game console itself. This is what the article says. Sony is starting a new lineup of ready for PlayStation 5 televisions, highlighting models that have special integration with PS5 and gaming friendly specs. The first 2 models in the ready for PlayStation 5 line are already available in the mass market. This TV names are awful. The XH90 4K HDR Full Array LED, which retails starting at $999.99, and the ZH88K HDR Full Array LED, which retails starting at $6,000. On top of their specific benefits for gaming, both monitors feature Bravia Game Mode. This allows PS5 to automatically play games on the TV's lowest latency setting, lets you wake up both the PS5 and the TV simultaneously with a single press of the DualShock 5 controller, and even control your PlayStation 5 with your standard remote. You may not get very far playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla that way, but it sounds pretty handy if you just want to load up Netflix real quick. Sony says supported games will be able to play at 120 frames per second on both TVs, with the XH90 going for a low input lag of 7.2 milliseconds. Meanwhile, the ZH8 will let you play supported games at 8K resolution. We don't know how many upcoming PS5 games will support that mega high resolution, but the possibility is nonetheless intoxicating. While Sony's happy to recommend you some fine Sony televisions to play on your PlayStation 5, the console will still be compatible with the usual range of monitors. They just won't be quite so tightly integrated. Alright, so is that our first word on 120 FPS on PS5, or am I wrong on that front? I know we heard about it on Xbox Series X with, I think, Forza, but I'm not sure if we've heard official stuff about PS5 supporting 120Hz refresh rates and 8K gaming. I don't know what is going to support that, but I'm definitely intrigued. My biggest bet would be it supporting 8K Netflix whenever that becomes a thing, because you know it eventually will. Hopefully by the time it's mainstream, and 8K TV won't cost $6,000. That's insane money. Alright, so this bit of news doesn't come from a news outlet, it comes from me, imagine that. Cuphead, the former Xbox exclusive, exclusive, which went to Nintendo Switch in April of 2019, sort of just showed up on the PlayStation Store, taking some people off guard. Then we got a trailer and PlayStation Access live streamed gameplay, and it all happened very fast. This is really cool and unexpected. I love Cuphead, it's a super fun game. I got it on the Switch back when it came out and I suck at it. I cleared maybe 3 levels and that was after hours of trying. I just sort of gave up. It's an intensely challenging game, but when I did manage to complete those handful of levels, it felt so rewarding, so I certainly get the appeal. If you're interested in Cuphead on PS4, go check it out. It's £16, which I'm guessing is probably $20, which means it's not going to break the bank, especially if you still got your $10 or £10 free PlayStation Store credit that we talked about last week, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. We have another one from pushsquare.com because come on, you couldn't expect me to do all the work, and it's about a really interesting recent survey. This is how it reads. A wide-ranging survey put forward by pop culture agency Experience 12 suggests that Sony's upcoming console is winning the next-gen popularity battle by some distance. Over 3,000 people were quizzed during MCM Comic Con's online events at the end of June, and a whopping 84% of participants said that they were more excited for PlayStation 5 over the Xbox Series X. The data isn't based on a massive sample size, but it still makes for an interesting read and is perhaps a microcosm of the bigger picture. Arguably more eyebrow raising is that only 37% of people said that they plan on buying a next-gen console at launch later this year. It's also worth noting that the majority of these participants said that PS4 is their preferred platform of the current generation. 59% swear by Sony's system, while just 16% went with Xbox One. 14% said PC and 8% pointed to Nintendo Switch. A lot of these people will be sticking with PlayStation, it seems, and let me know down in the comment section down below what you make of this. I think the figures are not radically surprising given Sony's success this generation. It's always good to get surveys from the general public to get an idea of what people are thinking. For example, someone like me is going to be a little bit biased because I mainly play on PlayStation. I have a Switch, but it's just for big Nintendo exclusives. If I wanted to play Xbox exclusives, I'd get Game Pass for my PC. It's only £4 a month, but they don't appeal to me, so yeah, I'll be a little bit biased. Obviously, I don't get into the angry console war debates like the people who say the Xbox should fail. I don't care what system people get, I'm going to be happy with my PS5. Now, I mentioned I talked about this 2 stories ago, and we've got our next bit of news from the 6th Axis. I'm Irish, so THs don't come naturally to me. The6thAxis.com. It's about the free $10, £10 that we talked about last week, and this is pretty disappointing. A user called C_R_5 on Twitter asked PlayStation UK support why others haven't gotten their free store credit. The response PlayStation UK gave them left much to be desired. This is the response. Hi there, if you are a PS Plus subscriber and did not receive the system message about the gift store credit, then sadly you did not make it this time as it was sent to random subscribers. Best of luck with any future promos. When I first read this, I was kind of like, I mean, I've been a PS Plus subscriber for years and years now, so it feels a bit unfair. Can't change it now, I suppose. Let me know down in the comments below if you got your free store credit or if you're disappointed to find out it was randomly given out. I'm disappointed. Our last bit of news is from pushsquare.com again, and it's just them doing the usual with a helpful PS5 article. I think the last few weeks I've covered articles like this one because they're informative and I like them. This one is about whether or not your DualShock 4 will work with PlayStation 5, and this is what they had to say. Sony's yet to officially confirm whether PS4 controllers will work on the PlayStation 5, but it makes sense for the PlayStation 5 to support the DualShock 4 given that the console is completely backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4. Our guess is that the PS4 controller will work as expected when you're playing PS4 titles on PS5. However, new functionality included with the PS5 controller may mean that your DualShock 4 isn't compatible with PS5 games. I mean, this is essentially what I said in an older The Last Week in PlayStation, or maybe in my backwards compatibility video. What they said here makes sense, and I hope at the next PlayStation event Sony mentions this being a thing because I like my DualShock 4 and controllers are expensive. Real quick, I want to remind everybody of your August free games with PS Plus. Yes, finally we found out what they are, and one of them you can go download right now. The first of which is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. You can download it right now and I am really excited to play this. The remaster looks great and it's just one of the most iconic Call of Duty campaign experiences. I remember I played it on an old Toshiba laptop back in the day that could barely run Google Chrome, so it will be very interesting for me to replay the game in 4K on my PS4 Pro. Next up we've got Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, and I have no clue what this is, but the trailer looks interesting. I'll definitely be checking it out and you'll be able to download it on August 4th. If you didn't know, the PS Plus games always come out on the first Tuesday of the month, but for some reason this month you can download Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign early. I like August's lineup and I'm happy I didn't buy the campaign when it came out originally because I was very tempted to, but now I've got it for free. That's it for the 7th, the last week in PlayStation. Crazy to think next week I'll have been doing this for 2 months, but here we are. This was a pretty solid week for PlayStation news, and if any big news breaks over the weekend, I'm sorry for not covering it as I will be away, and I'm actually wrapping up this script on Friday night. Let me know down in the comment section down below what you think of Gabe Newell's split-second decision, and let me know if you're excited to play Cuphead on your PlayStation 4 finally. As always, I had a load of fun putting together some news articles regarding the world of PlayStation into an easy to watch video for you to enjoy every single Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, please consider hitting the like button as it helps my video get recommended to other people, and consider subscribing, it would really help me out. If you want to stay up to date with the channel, you can find me over on Twitter at AnthonyJGaming. I'm very active over there, so why don't you go say hi. On the PlayStation Network, I'm AnthonyJGaming as well. Finally, you can follow me over on Instagram where I'm AnthonyJosephGaming. Thank you again so much for watching the last week in PlayStation. Bye.